What is going on, you guys? It's Life Aspects with Visionary Rose, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the topics all of this week. This week so far has only been 2 videos, and that is actually sexual activity part 1 and part 2, and those are on YouTube and on Facebook, Instagram. I haven't uploaded them on TikTok, but once I do, I will let you guys know. So go over there and check those videos out. And I also did a summary video. So the summary video was just everything that's going to be talking about this week. This week is still social problems week, and we are getting ready to talk about depression and anxiety on today with social problems. And like I said on last Friday, and I said in my summary video that I posted on Monday, was that I am targeting my young people on this week. I am targeting my young people specifically because we are talking about social problems this week, and I want to target my young people. So today we are talking about depression and anxiety, and we're going to be getting a little bit deeper into exactly what it is and different methods of like how to cope with it and all of that stuff. So depression is an emotional feeling that you feel, and it comes from so many different types of things. The depression can come from, maybe something that happened in your lifetime, something that you still haven't got over, and that depression builds up into trauma. So you have that trauma bond and all of that stuff. You have trauma bond from your childhood. You have trauma from something maybe that happened last week, or you may have trauma from a car accident, and that's real life stuff. Everyone has their moments where they have had childhood trauma. I don't care if you grew up in the best home, you still had some form of trauma. You still had some form of depression there. You still had some form of anxiety. You ever when you first about to take the test to get your license, that's a good example. That anxiety that you feel. Sometimes people's hands sweat. Sometimes they break out into a sweat. Sometimes people armpits start sweating when they get scared, when they get nervous, when they get that anxiety feeling that they feel. And sometimes that happens with people with depression. Everybody's depression is different, so it's always good to kind of to see how others dealt with it. Even though sometimes whatever method may work for them, it may not work for you. It's always good because everybody's depression is different, and everybody's trauma bond is different. Everybody's childhood is different. Everyone grew up in so many different environments. It's so you have to, when you're talking about it, you also want to be sensitive and kind of to other people's feelings, because you never know where they came from, what happened to them along the way. So it's always good to just kind of just be sensitive about it. And also, when people are going through form of depression and stuff like that, you never want to say that a person is seeking attention, or that they're a crybaby, or saying oh, they just want attention, they need to grow up, because you never know what, if someone is coming to talk to you about what's going on with them. You don't want to say that the person is doing it, because you don't know what's going on. They might look up to you, and they might want to come and talk to you about something, and then when you throw off oh, they want attention and stuff like that, that's gonna draw them away from you. They're not gonna want to talk to you. They not want to have anything to say, and you might just put them to the point to where they don't even want to talk to anybody, because when people talk about their depression, you have those folks that be like, oh, you just want attention, or ain't nothing wrong with them. That's always something wrong. People be really going through stuff. People be ready to off themselves because just because the things that they have dealt with in life. And depression isn't always about it's not always crying. When people depressed, sometimes they smoke their depression away. Sometimes they drink their depression away. Sometimes people like to inject themselves. They like to pop pills for depression and stuff like that. You don't know how people cope with their depression. So that's why it's very, very important to really just be sensitive when people are going through it. Be understanding. Although you may not feel it, you never know how that person feels, and you never know. You could be talking to someone and they could be gone tomorrow. You just never know. So depression is an emotional feeling, and it's not a good feeling at all. You dread, sometimes you're lazy, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to get out of bed. You're just everywhere. And in that moment of being depressed, you still have to get up and do your daily tasks. You still have to get up to get your life needs, to keep going. You still have to keep going in the midst of your depression. And then there's some people that's just like, I don't know. It's not easy. You got some people that's stronger than others. And just because, you're like in the midst of your depression right now, it doesn't make you a weak person. Oh, the only weak person is the person that can never admit that they battle with it, and they can't admit that they need help from it. That's the only weak person. Because a person that will sit there and, call another person weak because of stuff that they're going through, they're weaker. You're the strong one, because you can admit that you've gone through it, or that you're going through it and you need help from it. See, and everybody talks about like accountability and, admitting stuff, and that right there, like when you say that, like, look, I'm not okay, and I'm depressed, I'm dealing with anxiety and stuff like that, to me personally, I feel like you already taking accountability over your life. Because one, you admitted something that's very like that's something serious. And depression is an emotional thing. It's something that you feel. So, a heartbreak and all of that stuff. Many times people get depressed over a heartbreak. Sometimes many people may get depressed of losing their job. Sometimes people get depressed of losing their car. Sometimes people get depressed of just the load on their shoulders. And don't think because when somebody talks to you about when someone talks to you about their problems, see, people are only going to tell you a small snippet of something. So whatever you choose to do with that small snippet, so you got people that'll listen to what you got. You can tell them like, hey, I struggle with this, and I do this and I do that, and they'll run with it. And every time you turn around, they're gonna think that's what they're gonna think. So you could tell them you was depressed about, let's say for my females, let's say you depressed about a guy, and let's say you tell somebody, and just a little small snippet of like just a little something. You gotta know how to talk around, because when you talk around something, then you have what? Yeah. Why life specs? Why do I need to talk around? Why is it important to talk around? It's always important to talk around stuff. When you're talking about something, especially when it has something to do with your personal life, always talk around it. Always talk around anything that you're going through. Because what will happen is, let's say like if you tell someone like, yeah, girl, this dude, girl, he just got me so depressed. I can't believe he did this and all of this stuff like that, Then they look at you, they listening to everything that's going on. Then the next time you said, she ain't worried, she's sad about that dude, she need to let him go, Not even knowing that you dealing with 10 other things on your back. And that's why I say you got to talk around, and you got to also be careful, because you will have people that will listen to you and won't even take nothing that you saying serious. And then they're going to be like, oh, she just want attention. She just want somebody to be here because she crying about that dude. One whole time you going through 10 more hella high waters behind closed doors that they don't even know about. But you just decided you just decided to say something in confidentiality. And you ever said something to someone in confidentiality, and they said it and it made you not even want to talk about it anymore? That's what's going on in the world today, you guys. And as young people, I want to help speak and inspire young people that it's okay to not be okay. But when you want to talk about something, you got to be careful with who you talk about it with, because everybody is not going to be a listening ear. And I said that in one of my videos. You just got to go back and watch. It's probably with the affirmations when Angel video. I said everybody wasn't a listener. I'm going to find that. But everybody is not a listening ear, because you got some people that will listen and think that they know your whole life. They know your whole life. No, sir. They don't know your life. What? They don't know your life. They think they know your life. And see, people that think that they know your life off of one thing that you told them, because now they think that they know you. They're not going to take nothing that you say serious. Or people that would try to figure you out, and then they don't take you serious. It's like I said in one of my videos too, it's okay to go to counseling. It's okay to seek out for help. It's okay to say that, look, I'm not well, and I really need some help. And it's okay to say that you need help. Don't feel alone in the midst of your depression. Sometimes you have to be your own motivation. And you like, how can I be my own motivation when I'm not even motivated to get up out this bed? How can I be my own motivation when I done called out of work because I just can't deal with it? That happens. That happens as young people. That happens. And I just want to say it's okay. Don't feel weighed down by your troubles. Write them down. Write them down. Breathe in, breathe out. A preacher told, it was a guest speaker that came to my church, and the topic of his sermon was, God has given you permission to breathe. Honey, when I wanted to run around the church, when he said that, I was like, whoo, God's giving me permission to breathe. That's what he wants y'all to do. He's giving y'all permission to breathe. And in the midst of your depression and anxiety, you're not thinking, okay, I need to breathe. You're like, oh my God, like what's going on? Like, depression, it'll take you through the ring. And it ain't no telling how long you will be in it. You got people that be in depression for years. Years. You got some people that be in there for months. You got some people that just be in depression for a day and they get over it. But that hurt is still there. That hurt is still there. But let me say this too, because we got some more topics that's coming on this week. It is still social problems. So when you're battling, when you're going through, it's not the end of the world, but take time to yourself. Take time to yourself. And when you take time to yourself, because when you're going through depression, you don't want to kind of really like talk to anybody. You kind of like want to be by yourself, because those are like the phases of it. And in the midst, and if you have to take a break, take all the breaks that you need. You talking to somebody that take a lot of breaks. You're listening to somebody that takes a lot of breaks. Yes, take the breaks that you need. It's necessary. It's necessary to take those breaks. And if you're not giving yourself those breaks, you're gonna be like, oh, like you've been so tired. You got to slow down. Slow down. You got to slow down. Cause the life will hit you. It'll hit you. And, it'll hit. And sometimes you may have to experience all the hell at a young age. Because when you get older, God got something greater for you in your future. You like, everybody's life is differently. So you just have to, it's just all about where you at in your life range. Where are you at in your life range? So when you're dealing with it, if you want to take a break and not talk to anybody, do that. And then once you feel like you're ready to come back, do that. And the people that are real in your life and they say that they care about you and love you, if they're still there, then they real people. But if they left you in the midst of your depression, let me say this too, because this is so serious. Because I'm telling y'all, why Life Specs are you telling me this? Because Life Aspects has been through it and she's still going through it. Let me tell you something. You need to cut everyone off that has left you in the midst of your depression, when you was broke, when you was going through anxiety, when you didn't have nothing, when you and anybody that you talked to and they were saying that, oh, you just want attention, or you just you need to grow up, or you acting like a baby. You cut it, and it's so more down the line of a lot of people that you got to cut off. Because this stuff's so serious. It's so serious how you could say that somebody's pain is for attention. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad you could say somebody paying for attention. Because I've been through a lot in these past 2 years. Had deaths. So much in my family. So much in my personal life. And it's like, as I look back, I'm just like, wow. Because where I was like last year, I'm not in the same predicament this year. I mean, yeah, things have happened, but and you don't want to get that I don't care attitude, because it'll scare you. It'll scare you when you get that I don't care attitude. And when young people, boy, when we get that I don't care attitude, I'm telling you, when we get that I don't care attitude, it's like, don't say nothing to me, back away from me, because everybody gonna get it. I know. I already know. Look, I already know, man. Like, for real. Like, that's why, like, it's very, very important. In the midst, don't forget about God in the midst of your depression. Like, you may feel like God has left you, because, like, when I was like, Lord, did you stop? You stop hearing me? You stop hearing me? And I ain't like, I know, like, special, you ain't think God left you. And me time you up here praying on the plat. Nah, yeah, baby. I thought the Lord forgot about me for a thinking. I thought he forgot about me. I'll print out like, woo, going on, God, where you at? Where you at, God, where you at? And you be like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Like, or like, you see this? You see this? And even when you healing, and when you healing from your depression, you healing from your anxiety and stuff like that, like, before you think about, like, going to get in like, before you think about going to, like, receive, like, you know, medication and all of that stuff, figure out what you can do first for yourself.